probably kind of seen or heard probably something similar. You raise your hand if you had family members who were technicians or turned a wrench ever. Anyone? Okay. So we here, and Terry Rupp here is our curator of our museum and are in touch with our outreach. He can tell you about how many of our customers and employees actually pass their product on in their wills, right? So these are heirlooms. And we could not be any more proud of them. So, more broadly defined, right? Not hand tools and power tools, but productivity solutions, right? So, if you think of the proliferation of electronics in the world today, we have, that strange looking thing there in the bottom right, that's an alignment machine. Diagnostics is a huge part of our business. We do Snap-on, we rely on big data. So we make systems that allow a small shop to look like a dealership. Makes the software that manages the shop, that reminds you to get your oil changed, that handles the repair order, that handles scheduling and estimating. And so Snap-on sees more repair orders in a day than anyone else on the globe, and we leverage that information. So the car that you drive, every time it goes into a bay, right, we know what repairs happen. We also know what trouble codes that were on your car. So for your car, when it flashes a certain trouble code, we know what the likely repairs will be. That information is extremely valuable to an independent technician or an independent shop owner who may have never seen that car and doesn't want to spend the time learning, right, when he's not getting paid for it. So we help them get up the learning curve, help them expand their scope. We've got a number of different brands covering automotive and also stepping out a little bit into different areas, like in the industrial side of things. Industrial torque just made a couple of acquisitions in the last few months in the industrial torque world. So a company called Sturdivant and Richmond. We don't like to stray too far away from it. Keep it close. And we are manufacturing in the U.S. So here you can see across the globe, the Snap-on branded products are largely made in the U.S. They still are. And by the way, you are literally steps away from where our drop cords used to be. They used to pound out hand tools here for decades and kept the neighbors away. And they hated us for it, but then when it went away, you know what they said? I can't sleep now. Kind of a funny story, right? It's like living by the train tracks when I was a kid. So, I have an extremely sharp leadership team. Any of you have paid attention to our performance, all the performance metrics we have, and I script those all out because I don't like to just sit here and brag for a half hour. I want you guys to get on with your day. But, we've basically seen a transformation of our company to a sort of a regional player into an international player, and more rounded out product array so that we can not only chase the sort of slow-growing automotive world by going after some of the fast-moving industrial segments, aerospace, for example. Those torque acquisitions that we make position us ideally to chase after business like that. So, I think about trying to build on the heritage that we have, leveraging the white trucks to sell tools to technicians. We're talking about how we more broadly define what Snap-on means with unique productivity solutions. We're trying to make work easier for serious professionals. And then a lot of buzzwords here about critical tasks and the cost of failure being very high, things like that. One of the cornerstones of this is to make our franchising network more robust. So we are the largest non-food franchise in the world. Right? And our tools group is consistently our top performer in terms of top line growth and also delivering bottom line results. It all involves improving the productivity of the franchisee. So if the franchisee starts his day on opening boxes, right, and filling his truck, that's taking away from selling time. So maximizing the franchisee's selling time. And then also the product array that we have for shop owners and managers, and I just mentioned a little bit about that. Independent shops chose Garage wants to appear to you online and in person like they have their act together. They want to act like and treat you like you get treated at a dealership because that's the business they're chasing. So, big data, our diagnostics tools that cover at least 80% of the aftermarket, and also we provide training. So if you're a shop owner and you want to get better at running your system and your computer systems, we make that happen for you. So their success translates into our success. The critical industries is a big part. I think I heard yesterday that in the past 3 years we've launched 16,000 new part numbers to attack these critical industries. And you can see them up here on the board. The one cool one, and if you all are going to drive by Gateway on your way home. Gateway is like one of the flagship Snap-on education customers that we have. They're very, very strong partner of ours. And on the technical education side, you think of what Snap-on does, we extend our biggest discount ever to the student. It's the equivalent of the Happy Meal, right? But we also sell to the school. So you can see some of the certification boxes out here, but schools can buy a Snap-on diagnostic certification program. It comes with toolboxes where the students have their own drawer. They pull out a Snap-on diagnostics tool. They learn how to use it. The curriculum is managed and kept fresh by a third party, not-for-profit, and shared with every school that's involved with our Snap-on diagnostic program, so that when one great insight comes from one school, it's translated out to the rest of the organization. And then we also sell to the teacher. We make sure that that teacher can be successful in implementing the instruction. And so we bring them in for train the trainers. And that's one of my favorite because we hit them high and hit them low. We sell to the students, we sell to the school, and we train the instructors. It's a fantastic program. Everybody wins. We also had to really learn where our tools apply in a lot of these industries. It wasn't a strength of ours. And now we have not only the people who understand the business, but we have a product array that's relevant when we walk into a fracking operation, right? When we walk into a railroad. And the things you see on television about big growth trends like in aviation repair, we are chasing that business now, and we're not walking in with half the bag of tools we need. We have what we need. So it's really important, and you kind of see an additive effect where the results are starting to speak for themselves. And then building in emerging markets, we have 5 manufacturing facilities in China. What's interesting about Snap-on is a lot of the manufacturing we do, say in Asia, serves the Asian market. Manufacturing we do, maybe if you all saw the Baco tools in the room with the glass there, that's a European brand that we own. Products made in Europe, made in Sweden, Spain, France, and serves that basically the Western European market with those tools. So we're not manufacturing in China just to bring it over here. Right? We're manufacturing in China to serve our markets in Asia. I only wanted to put one, technical chart in here, and there's going to be a little quiz on this later. Just kidding, but I think when you see results like this, it's worth kind of taking a pause because when you make more money consecutively year after year on the top line, I mean, you've got more sales, you think of all the things that go into that, like increased inventory. You need more people, right? You have more waste because you've got factories that are loaded with raw materials, right? But instead, that red line is showing you what's dropping through to our shareholders, right? So not only are we growing top-line sales, but we're also growing on the earnings side of things, which to me shows you the strength of our management team. It makes me really happy to show up here every day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all that I have for you. Unless there's any questions, comments, concerns, and we didn't even cover the most important part, which is safety. Your all safety is very important to us here at Snap-on. If there is a fire alarm or a tornado alert, well, let's start with fire alarm. If there's a fire alarm, you walk out the door you came in safely and calmly. And I'll go last, I swear. Tornado alerts, you're going to go down this hallway into the restrooms. Okay? Hopefully we won't run into any of these issues. We want to make sure that you're aware of where the exits are. And I should have started with that, so forgive me, that's my failure. I want to again say thank you for coming to Snap On. We're delighted to host you. We're delighted to have Edgar and Rich and Greg back. It's always great to see. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Don.
Edgar, you want to come back up here?